Hey, what's up everybody? Nick here and welcome to Resident Evil 4. I am very excited to be bringing you this walkthrough on professional difficulty. I know it's an older game, there's already walkthroughs online, but truth be told, this is my #1 favorite game of all time, and they recently remastered it for the Xbox One and PS4, and so I'm playing on the Xbox One right now. For those of you new to my channel, I hope you like this playthrough. I don't talk during the cutscenes, and the only downside is in this first video, the cutscenes are kind of lengthy and choppy. So I will be joining you throughout the video during, in between cutscenes. But here we go. We're going to start a game on professional difficulty. Let's do it.
1998. I'll never forget it. It was the year when those grisly murders occurred in the Arklay Mountains. Soon after, the news was out to the whole world, revealing that it was the fault of a secret viral experiment conducted by the international pharmaceutical enterprise, Umbrella. The virus broke out in a nearby mountain community, Raccoon City, and hit the peaceful little town with a devastating blow crippling its very foundation. Not taking any chances, the President of the United States ordered a contingency plan to sterilize Raccoon City. With the whole affair gone public, the United States government issued an indefinite suspension of business decree to Umbrella. Soon its stock prices crashed, and for all intents and purposes, Umbrella was finished. Six years have passed since that horrendous incident. I received special training via a secret organization working under the direct control of the president. I was to assume the responsibility of protecting the new president's family.
Cornel, why am I the one who always gets the short end of the stick?
You, who are you really? Come on and tell us. You are a long way from home, cowboy. You have my sympathies.
Guess that's a local's way of breaking the ice. Anyway, you know what this is all about. My assignment is to search for the president's missing daughter.
What? All by yourself?
I'm sure you boys didn't just tag along so we could sing Kumbaya together at some Boy Scout bonfire. Then again, maybe you did.
Oh, you crazy American. It's a direct order from the chief himself. I tell you, it's no picnic.
I'm counting on you guys. It was right before I was to take on my duties of protecting the president's daughter when she was abducted. That's the ultimate reason I'm in this lonely and rural part of Europe. According to our intelligence, there's reliable information about a sighting of a girl that looks very similar to the president's daughter. Apparently, she's being withheld by some unidentified group of people. Who would have thought that my first job would have been a rescue mission?
It's freezing. So cold all of a sudden. Must be my imagination. Sorry it took so long.
Just up ahead is the village.
I'll go and have a look around.
We'll stay and watch that car. Don't want to get any parking tickets.
Right. Parking tickets.
Good luck.
Jeez, who are these guys?
Did you say something?
Leon, I hope you can hear me. I'm Ingrid Hunnigan. I'll be your support on this mission.
Loud and clear. Somehow I thought you'd be a little older. So the subject's name's Ashley Graham, right?
That's right. She's the daughter of the president. So try to behave yourself, okay?
Whoever this group is, they sure picked the wrong girl to kidnap.
I'll try to find some more information on my end as well.
Good. Talk to you later. Leon out.
Sweet, so we finally gained control of Leon, and like I said, the beginning of this game here, there's a lot of short, choppy cutscenes, so I'm not going to be doing any in-depth commentary for the time being. I'm just going to kind of set things up, but what you're going to want to do is go in here, and we are going to trigger the first enemy of the game. They are called the Los Ganados. All you got to do is run in and trigger the scene.
Excuse me. Sir? I was wondering if you might recognize a girl in this photograph?
¿Qué carajo estás haciendo aquí? ¡Lárgate, cabrón!
Sorry to have bothered you.
Freeze! I said freeze!
Alright, so I'm only going to be here for a second until the next cutscene, but notice how I take this guy out with only one bullet. It's all about ammo conservation.
Shit.
Is everything okay?
There was a hostile local. I had no choice but to neutralize him. There are still others surrounding the area.
Get out of there and head toward the village. Take whatever measures necessary to save the subject.
Understood.
Alright, so after that, I finally have a hefty chunk of gameplay to sit back and do some commentary for. So, I just want to welcome all the new viewers, welcome my returning subscribers. At the time of recording this, I'm only 10 away from hitting 500 subscribers, so that's just freaking amazing to me. I never expected that when I made my YouTube channel, and as I said, this is my favorite game of all time, and I'm really looking forward to making this walkthrough. If this goes well, or even if it doesn't go well, I'm going to do Resident Evil 5 and 6 as well, but I hope you enjoy it. So, first piece of advice is jump out of that window on the first floor and turn to your left, and you're going to have 3 Ganados running at you. Now notice what I'm doing here. I didn't go for headshots. I shot all of them in the legs, and the game actually encourages you to do that. And you'll notice how when I shot them in the legs, they all fell down in this nice, neat little pile, and then I just took out my knife and slashed them a couple times to get the kill. And so I ended up taking out 3 enemies. I think I'd have to do a playback, but I think I used like 3 or 4 bullets. And see, the thing about Resident Evil 4 is, or the thing about Resident Evil is, it's what kind of, you know, kick-started the survival horror genre. And I know that with this game, there's a bit of controversy behind the genre. Some people refer to it as a survival horror. Some say action horror. No matter where you fall on that spectrum, I think everyone has to admit that the game at least has some core survival horror elements, even if you don't consider it a standard survival horror. Real quick to cut in, as you make your way along the path here, you're going to find this wolf trapped in a bear trap. Release him. In case you're watching this for entertainment, I'm not going to release any spoilers, but I can tell you that that wolf will come in handy later on, believe it or not. So make sure you save him instead of just leaving him or shooting him. Also, keep an eye out for these booby traps. There's bear traps laid about. There's dynamites strapped to the trees and everything. But so watch, again right here, Ganado is coming at me, I shoot him in the leg, I run up to him, and I knife him a couple times. And the reason I'm doing that goes back to what I was saying. This game at least has core survival horror elements, and one of the biggest one of the biggest factors in every survival horror game, kind of what defines the genre, is limited ammo and ammo conservation, and this game is no different. There is a merchant in the game that you'll come to later, and from the merchant you can buy weapons, you can buy health, but one thing you can't buy is ammo. Ammo is something that you have to find by scavenging, or you can pick it off of dead corpses that you kill. So that being said, obviously, one of the biggest things in this game is conserving your ammo. And what's the best way to do that? Using your knife. And so that's a really good way that you can take out the enemies, especially when there's not too many of them, and especially early on in the game when they still have like weaker health capacities. And so the best thing you can do in this game is just shoot the enemies in the leg, let them fall, and then knife them. Or there's other things you can do. You can shoot them in the knees, and if they're staggering, you can kick them. Or if they fall to their knees, you can run up and you can do a suplex on them. And those are both very satisfying ways to take down enemies. But yeah, if you couldn't tell, this game means a lot to me. It's one of my favorite games, and that's why I'm really looking forward to making a walkthrough for it. First off, I'm just looking forward to playing the game again. Second, I feel like I've played this game so many times, I might have some useful advice for people who are first being introduced to this series and trying to beat the game on either normal or professional. But go ahead and go through this gate, trigger a short cutscene, and I'll see you after that.
Leon, how you holding up?
Bad question, Hunnigan.
Sorry to hear that. I'm sending you a playing manual. Hope you find it useful.
I'll take a look at it, thanks.
Alright, so after the cutscene, we're going to come to, and let me preface this by saying, I try not to cuss in my walkthroughs. I try to keep these as family-friendly as possible so that they're good for all gamers, even though this game itself is probably not a great game for kids to play. But you're going to hear me say this a lot. We're coming to what I call an oh shit moment. So I found myself that when I was playing through this game again, I've played the game so many times, I know what's going to come. And so sometimes I'll come to these spots where I know what's going to happen, and I just find myself saying, oh shit, not this again. And this is the village. So you're going to trigger a short cutscene. What you want to do is just run straight through the village here, take a left through this fence, go in here, and trigger a cutscene.
No dejes que se escape.
Vayan por detrás. Why are these people?
Bloqueale el paso.
What are they planning? Chainsaw. Shit.
Te voy a matar.
Son of a...
Alright guys, here's what we're going to do in the village defense section. It might be something that you don't necessarily like. I don't know if anyone else has done this on YouTube. I'm sure they have. And so I just want to say first off, you can follow along with what I'm doing here. Feel free to get some ammo, collect everything on the lower floor here, and then we're going to go up to the second floor. But I want to say really quickly that there's already walkthroughs for this game on YouTube. I have not watched a single one because I've played this game so many times. But that being said, what I'm doing here and what I'm doing throughout this entire walkthrough, it might not be new ground. People might have already done the same exact strategy. And so if that happens, I just want to say, I apologize. I'm not copying any walkthroughs or anything like that, but I think the game has just been around long enough for people to coincidentally find the same approaches to these. But I'm going to show you guys the easiest way to do this without a care in the world. So you're going to climb this tower here, and you're going to turn around and you're going to tuck yourself into this corner, and then what you're going to do is you're going to turn your back to the corner. And believe it or not, this village defense section, it's not about killing all of the enemies, it's about surviving. And you just have to survive for a limited amount of time. And so you're going to see here that I actually end up doing this without even having to confront a single enemy. And the reason for that is when you go up into this tower, the game tries to make it so that you can't stay up here. And the Ganados will throw these Molotovs up at you. But the thing is, if you stand perfectly in this corner, none of those flames will damage you, and you can end up staying here for the entire time. And so, of course, right now you see the video being sped up, and that's because it takes about 2 or 3 minutes for this to last, and I didn't want to show that whole thing. But there you go. That's the easiest way to get through this village defense section. I'll kind of explain my reasoning for it after the next cutscene, because some of you might be thinking, oh, that's not very fun to watch, and that's true, I'd agree with you, it's not, but it is very strategic and it's thinking ahead, so I'll explain why later.
Oh, la campana.
Es hora que irnos.
Lord Sattler.
Where's everyone going? Bingo? Hunnigan, I have some bad news. I've confirmed the body of an officer. Something's happened to the people here.
Leon, you need to get out of there. Look for a tower and follow the trail near it.
Got it.
Alright guys, so once that cutscene's over, you'll start off at the center of the village, and once again you're going to notice my videos sped up, and that's because, real quick, I want to explain to you another key aspect of this game, and that is scavenging. So as soon as you clear an area of enemies, what you're always going to want to do is just run around and take the time to explore everywhere. Go in every room, crack open every barrel, every box, and collect as much ammo, health, and money as you can. Because obviously this is a survival horror game, and resources are very limited, and so it becomes crucial that you take the time here to scavenge. And for my personal walkthrough, I like to include all gameplay, and this does count as gameplay, and it's something that I think is valuable to give advice on, but I don't want to, that whole sequence took like 3 or 4 minutes, and so that's just kind of boring to watch, so I figure I might as well speed up the video. Another thing here is I want to take the time to introduce you to the inventory mechanics. So this game gives you a suitcase, and this suitcase, like in the older Resident Evil games, it has limited amount of room for you to store things. But notice how, as I was scavenging, I picked up a yellow herb, and then what I did is I combined it with a red herb and a green herb. So for those of you who aren't familiar with the franchise, when you do that, when you combine all 3 colors of herbs, you actually create what I call like the super herb or the super potion. And what that is it's a thing of health, but no matter how low in health you are, it will not only bring you back up to full health, but it will also slightly increase your total health capacity. So you see right here, like after I get through this letter, in the lower right corner I have this green arc. That represents my health, but you can see how there's a lot of that arc that is left blank. That is health that you can gain throughout the game by taking these super herbs. So every time you find a yellow herb, they're really important because those are what allow you to expand your total health capacity. And that's just another reason why it's worth it to run around and scavenge and find everything you can. And so you're going to come to the farm here, and you can either do this before or after. I don't know why I just chose to do it before. Shoot this board here, and then shoot this pendant down. And if you do that, the pendant won't get all dirty and nasty, and you can actually sell it later to the merchant for a lot more than you could if you had just shot it and let it fall into the mud. Now, those gunshots, if you did this before, they're probably going to attract a couple of the Los Ganados that are in the area. First off, you're going to probably have to deal with these 2 that will run at you from the left. Again, remember, we're all about conserving our ammo here. So either go for headshots once they're already weak, or shoot them in the legs to knock them down, and then run up and finish it with a knife, like you see me doing right here. Once you take out these 2 enemies on the left, the rest of them are going to kind of be straight ahead in the main barn. So in this game, the Ganados will typically only come at you for 2 reasons. One is if you shoot at them, or 2 is obviously if you get too close, then they'll start attacking you. But at this point, I'm just scavenging this left area here, and I'm too far away from the remaining Ganados for them to run at me. But really, this part is just another area that kind of introduces you to combat in the game, especially after that stressful and hectic village defense section. So feel free to follow along with what I'm doing. One more quick thing I want to say is you're going to see these blue pendants hanging around. You can grab this letter here, and that will explain that if you're able to shoot 10 blue pendants, you'll unlock a free gun from the merchant. And there's 7 that you have to worry about here, and they're also on the map, so if you can't find one, you can always look on the map to figure out where it is. And so make sure you take the time to shoot those in order to unlock that free gun later on down the road. Now, probably for the remainder of this video, I kind of want to talk about my approach to the game. Namely, if you're watching this, in the village defense section, I took what could be called a coward's approach. I hid in the tower the entire time, and I did not fight a single enemy. There was no stress involved, and some of you might say, oh, you know, that's not very exciting. That's not how survival horror games are meant to be played. And you know, for the most part, I'd agree with you. It's not the most exciting thing to watch, but it is, and I don't think many can argue with this, it was the most efficient approach. It was stress-free. I did not have to use a single bullet, and I did not take a single hit or piece of damage. And so what I lacked in entertainment for that section, I gained in efficiency. And the thing is, you know, I try to make my walkthroughs, I like to make them entertaining for anybody to watch, but at the same time, I'm really trying to make them as helpful and educational as I can, and I'm trying to get the gamer through these sections as, you know, the easiest way possible. And in my opinion, the way I did that was the easiest way possible. And so it's not going to be like that during the entire game. I'm not always going to be able to find little glitches in the system where I can camp out and not take a single piece of damage, but when I do find those tricks, yeah, you know, you bet I'm going to share them, because I think that's what gets through gamers through them the easiest, and at the end of the day, that's, you know, personally what I'm making my walkthroughs for. But you know, I also like to do these commentaries for that sense of entertainment, so that, you know, if you had just watched me do that with no commentary, you might have been tempted to just click out of the video and say, oh, you know, this guy's not fun to watch, I'm not going to do it. But that's one of the reasons I add commentary, so that you can ultimately figure out why it is I do the things I do in the game. And I think that adds a cool sense of entertainment to it. But yeah, that's just my opinion. For those of you who have played this game, for those of you who haven't played this game, I'd love to know what you think in the comments below of the game in general, of my approach, of anything like that. For those of you who are returning subscribers, I just want to say thank you, especially if you're watching my videos. I understand that, like, the nature of my channel, the videos aren't necessarily watchable for everyone, because, you know, a lot of you might not be interested in playing this game, but if you take the time to at least watch some of the video, just for the support aspect, and you know, I like that a lot. That means a lot to me. I think it's pretty cool. But for those of you that are new viewers, I'd love for you to stick around. So, you know, feel free to leave comments talking about the game. That's basically what my channel is about, is discussing the game and discussing different approaches and strategies. If you enjoy this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. And if you didn't enjoy this video, instead of giving it a thumbs down, then, you know, leave a comment letting me know what it is you didn't like, so that I can try to improve my videos later on down the road. But then also, if you're looking forward to the rest of this game and future Resident Evil games to come, then it would be awesome if you took the time to subscribe. Yeah, and so now we'll kind of return back to the gameplay. You'll see that you have to run from that boulder there and do some quick time buttons. That's a common theme throughout the game that you're going to have to get used to. And sometimes those buttons happen during cutscenes, which can be kind of annoying, because you're just kind of sitting back enjoying the cutscene, not expecting to have to press any buttons, and then before you know it, there you go. So the last area of this level, we come to this section here, and the enemies are carrying these dynamite sticks. And so the best way to take out these enemies is they will throw the dynamite stick at you. And what you can do is, if you're aiming in their direction like you saw right there, the second that dynamite stick leaves the Ganados' hand, shoot. And if you're aiming in the right spot, you don't have to be dead on. The game will recognize what it is you're trying to do. But if you're aiming in their general direction, if you're able to shoot the second that they release their dynamite stick, the dynamite stick will explode in midair, and because you do it that quickly, the explosion will actually kill the Ganado that threw it, and likely any Ganados standing near him. So watch right here. This Ganado's trying to throw one at me through the window. I aim, I shoot as soon as it leaves his hand, and the game understands what I'm trying to do, and so the dynamite stick explodes, and it killed that Ganado inside. Boom, just did it again, and that's a really cool way to kill multiple Ganados with one bullet, because as you'll see, when you go in this building here, there's actually like 3 or 4 of them, but when I go in, there's only like 1 or 2 left, because that dynamite stick that I shot out of midair, it not only killed the one that threw it, but it killed one that was standing near him as well. And that's something that you're going to see me doing a lot through this game, and it's not even hard to do. Like I said, you don't have to have pinpoint accuracy and actually shoot that stick out of midair. Instead, you just kind of have to shoot in their general direction. So you saw right there, I was just aiming at him. The second it left his hand, I shoot, it explodes, and I kill him. Easy as that. Be careful, there might be 1 or 2 guys left in here depending on how close they were standing to the explosion. But as soon as you take out this last remaining guy, this section will be clear. The only thing you have to worry about is any bear traps that are littered around on the ground. So as you walk around, just kind of be careful. And then take the opportunity to scavenge. And so something cool that I wasn't even going for that I noticed at the end of this video is that I actually did this as a no damage video. I did not take a lick of damage in here. Unfortunately, that ends in the next video. But one thing that I still have going, so at the time of recording this audio, I have completed the entire chapter 1, and now I'm moving on to chapter 2. And so far, I have 0 deaths. And so for the time being, as I upload these videos to YouTube, I'm not going to advertise it as a no-death playthrough, because I doubt that's going to happen, for the rest of the game. But if I do end up beating this game without a single death, then I'll probably change the titles of the videos to, like, no-death playthrough, even though that's not what my original objective was. But we'll see how long that lasts. You'll see a typewriter right here, and you've seen me use one already in the video. These are how you save the game. But we're coming to the end here, and at the end of every level, you get an opportunity to save the game anyway, so I'm just going to skip the typewriter. Proceed through here. Again, watch out for the booby traps, but if you want, you can shoot them, because then you can actually scavenge more things like this bookshelf right here that was currently unavailable. So just run around and scavenge, and then we're going to approach the end of the level by looking into a wardrobe. So thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this, like and subscribe. Leave a comment below letting me know if you're excited for the walkthrough, if you like this game, really anything in general. But approach the wardrobe, trigger the cutscene, and I will see you in the next video.
Little rough, don't you think? You're not like them?
No. You?
Okay, I have only one very important question. You got a smoke?
Got gum.
Perfect. The big cheese.
What?